I'm super excited, honestly, man. I haven't even seen the Spinal Cut yet, so this is gonna be my first time seeing it with my family and everybody tonight. So I'm super excited. This is the first original project that he's doing, written and directed by him, and original IP. And I'm just trying to bring his stories to life the best I can. Oh man, because he made it specifically for a large format. He made it specifically for the cinema. He, trying to bring people back to the theaters. Get them in them seats. With the music, the sound, the picture, the world that we created. He shot with IMAX cameras. 65mm film, and it's for everybody to see in the theaters for sure. Definitely, maybe triple, quadruple work sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But it was so rewarding in the end. I love both those characters equally. And Smoke and Stack, yeah, they got a special place, so I can't wait for y'all to see it.
Oh my God, I mean, finally. It feels so exciting. I am so honored to be a part of this. I'm so grateful that I can actually finally share this with people and talk about it. It's been one of the hardest things to explain and to describe, so I can't wait for just people that everyone to see it, but my family and my loved ones. It's funny when you go away for a few months and you're like, oh no, this is work. I swear I'm working. You send them a selfie covered in blood at 5 a.m. You're like, I promise I'm working hard. Now they'll finally be able to see it. I'm really excited. They must see it in IMAX because it will not only be one of the greatest cinematic experiences they will ever experience. It will move them. It will scare them. It will, I don't know, make them groove in their seat. This film is going to leave you thinking about it for days. And there's no other way to see this movie than in IMAX. It deserves that. It's so incredible, and it is so big. The story is big, so it needs to be seen on the biggest screen possible. I can't wait for people to see it and experience it that way. So insane. Much more insane for him than any of us, but so amazing to sit back and watch. His work ethic is unmatched, and his passion and respect for the craft is incredible to watch. And he's so generous as an actor. He's constantly giving when he's the one that, again, is doing double time with this. The changeovers are crazy, the technology's crazy, the cameras and everything, it's a lot. It doesn't go unnoticed, that's for sure. We as a cast, and I know anyone that's a fan of him is a fan of what he does as an actor.
Man, it's thrilling, bro. It's thrilling. I mean, we exhausted, bro. We've been working up to the last minute on it. Still doing more work in days to come, spreading the word about the film. And it takes a different type of work to work on a film that's original, that people don't know about. So we really trying to raise awareness. But I'm thrilled to be bringing it to an audience tonight. I feel incredibly fortunate. It's always great, man. He gets better and better each time I work with him. And I think this is his best performance. It was the gift of a lifetime, man. This cast was incredible. And each one of them special in their own right, but all of them incredibly kind, and we formed an amazing family unit. He formed a community, and I missed him. So I'm glad to see everybody again tonight. That's the format that we shot it on, and it's very rare to be able to get access to those cameras, specifically for this type of story. But we wanted it to be immersive, we wanted it to be thrilling, and that's what I think we've delivered. Oh, it's a genre blended film about a young man who's a gifted guitarist, and his older cousins come back to town, and they have an incredible night. And danger comes along the way.
Ryan sent me 2 books, Blues People and a book by Amiri Baraka about the blues. And I read those books. Actually, I read Blues People twice. And then I listened to a lot of Howlin' Wolf, a lot of Son House, a lot of musicians associated specifically with this music. And I was listening to that all throughout production. And so just trying to steep myself in the music, in the culture of the music, in the spirituality of the music, the historical traditions. I just try to steep myself in that as much as I could in order to infuse the work with as much, authenticity as I could. Ryan Coogler swung for the fences with this film, right? He made a bold, brave, courageous move in terms of his storytelling. It's a big story. He's a big director. The story needs to be seen on the big screen, on the biggest screen there is. It's no accident that he used IMAX cameras because his intention was that this film be seen in an IMAX theater. So all of that is connected, and it speaks directly to his vision and how he wanted to present his vision to the world.
Man, I'm pumped, bro. I feel super blessed, man. I'm in my city, my hometown, so I'm grateful to be here, man. Yes, sir, from Brooklyn. For this role, I had to play the resonator guitar, which is a blues-style instrument, and I had to learn how to play it with a slide. So 2 months prior to filming, I went to a guitarist coach. He's a guitar coach, and named Randy Bolin. He's a great guitarist, and he taught me like the fundamentals of the blues style. And then, once I got that down, we went out to New Orleans and started filming, man. Oh man, that's my bro, man. He's been such an inspiration throughout this whole process. Just getting to see him work and see the work ethic up close, man. It was really inspiring. Man, this movie is so different, man. Like, it's truly unique. Ryan is an incredible writer, a big inspiration, and I think this film has got something for everybody, man. It's so many genres, wrapped up into one. Yeah, man, he just always told me to remain humble and stay grounded. I'm so grateful that he gave me this opportunity, and every day on set I learned something new from him, man, so it was great. This film was shot in IMAX, and the cinematography is incredible. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before, so I think the IMAX is really you gotta see it on the big screen, man.
It's amazing, and I'm excited, but I'm also feeling a little bittersweet. Like, I feel like it's the end of something and the beginning of it not being ours anymore, our little secret anymore. But it's amazing, and I'm so proud of the film. Oh, he's such an incredible actor, an incredible man, so passionate, so loyal and dedicated to his craft and to the cast and crew. Such an incredible leader. I mean, his detail was so specific. His characters were so different. I could tell with my eyes closed if he was smoke or stack. It was magical. I loved our game nights. I loved we would play Rummy Cube on the set and like bananagrams and Uno and spades. It was just like a fun, joyful community, family. Hannah Beachler did such an incredible job. The detail was so wonderful. Like, my shop, I walked on and I felt like this was my home. And like, you can't see it as an audience member, but the ceiling of my shop is decorated with these tiny little cards. And what was amazing, one day, our first day in fact, one of the cards fell down and fluttered down in front of Michael. It landed on him and he picked it up, and it was his lucky number. And we were like, wow, we're in the right place, the right time. This is meant to be. You've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it on film in IMAX. But also, like, the costumes, Miss Ruth, her costume design is just impeccable. Again, Hannah's set design, but the character work, what Ryan has written, he creates whole worlds in each character. Whether it's one person you see in one scene at the beginning of the film, that person is whole, that person is part of the community, and you love them. You love each character you meet. For me, I didn't know enough about it, and I feel like my world has expanded. I feel really proud to be a part of it. I'm really grateful that I got to do the research and like learn and see how the continent has the vibrations and the ripple effect of all of our ancestors accumulating in the blues, accumulating into what we have now and what will be. It's quite it's powerful. That everything matters, and we in turn matter.
Yes, and something fresh, something new. Like, I'm excited for everybody to really sink their teeth into this movie. Ryan is one of one. You will hear that a lot tonight from many of us. There were a few times where, just naturally as actors, we have imposter syndrome that wants to kick in, but especially for this role. And all of what it asked from the singing and the dancing and the performing. And he always made me feel very confident, right? Even in the moments where I was doubting myself, I still felt like, nah, if he believes that I can do this, then okay, I can do this, right? A real leader, but also someone that feels like the homie. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's one of one, and his eye is phenomenal. I can't. Whatever you think you're going to watch, it's not that. And let it surprise you, and let it take you on the journey that it's offering, and lean into it and enjoy yourselves. That's what I'll say. No, nobody would. I don't care. You're gonna hear people tell you that they think they would have, or somebody. Nobody's surviving a vampire attack.
He is truly, from my heart, one of the kindest, most genuine people I've ever met in my life, and it has been such a gift because of how open and collaborative he is, and his talent and his masterful editing skills, and his ability to tie seamlessly the characters and their backstories. I think there's been a lot of projects out there where people have attempted multi-genre, but they don't always work. But this one works. And I'm borrowing this quote from my stylist and friend, Jessica Pastor, but she made a very good point. He made it work. It's both comedy and love and community and relationships.
Jazzy. I mean, I feel so good. I put on the suit and even put on, I usually wear sneakers. I put on full slicks on you. You can't tell me nothing. Cornbread in the house. I'm telling you.
And what was it like?
This is a real film. It's a popcorn movie, but it's a film. This is something you're going to want to watch more than once. And for me, it was difficult. There's elements in the film which when you'll see that, you'll understand. There were some challenges on this film. But working with Ryan, man, I would do it. I'd do it again tomorrow. If he told me we're firing up tomorrow, I'd be right back on set. Ryan makes everybody feel like you're working with him and not for him. And I love that because he's got plenty of juice and plenty of power, but he's never trying to flex or anything like that. And it puts you in a position to give your best. Go see Sinners in IMAX because you have never had an adventure in the cinema like this. This is a truly original and unique film that will take you on an adventure that you really aren't ready for, in a good way. Mike had to wear this series of cameras on his head that they called the halo. That was like 30 cameras, but you have to act with him at a distance because you can't touch the halo, so that the twin stuff can work and be interactive and all this, that, and the other. It's great. Man, I'm saved by Jesus Christ. It don't matter if I make it to dawn or not. You do whatever you want to do. The soul is straight.
I mean, to watch it with an audience tonight, I think it's going to be really special. I look forward to it. I think there'll be a lot of gasps. You know, it's a scary movie, but it's scary for a reason. Like, it brings the weight behind those fears, you know. And I think we've all just been waiting a long time to watch this and see it go out into the world because we know how special it is. I mean, it's a love letter to blues music, right? And blues music is such an incredible gift to American culture. So we'd be in the music studio recording, then we'd be traveling to set, performing it live on set. You know, every person on this movie was like top of their craft. Unbelievable costumes, set design. They built every set from scratch. They built a river. You know what I mean? We're talking about, and there was like, you know, you're in the bayou, so there's gators going around. It's an unbelievable experience. I'll never forget it. And just spending three months in New Orleans alone was quite special. You've seen the film. There was a night where we performed out in the cold, out in the bayou, and we were able to sing a song live. You know, we didn't use the studio version. We were able to really sing and perform that song live, and Haley's there and Jack's there, and that night will always stick with me. That was a really special night. You could just feel the presence of our ancestors, people around us that were no longer with us, were there in the air, and I'm so grateful for that experience. I'll never forget it. I mean, the scope of it is so large that it would be a real disservice to watch in a smaller format. This is a really special achievement that comes around once in, you know, a few decades. Not only the technical achievement, but we're talking about a creative touch point for American culture. And that's what you always see with Ryan Coogler's work, right? Like, we're talking about a moment in time, and it's not going to be in those theaters forever. And so you really do have to see it in that format so that you can say you did.
Honestly, I feel like I need to be scarier in life. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to be really scary in this movie. It's my first time playing a scary person. I loved seeing like Ryan's like inner like football player. Like I felt like I was on a really cool team, like a winning team. And we were going through a lot of different things, but we prevailed ultimately. And I like that because I was never good at sports. So I felt for a moment like I was, a part of something like that, athletic. We have the most incredible stunt actors in this film, and like watching people like voluntarily light themselves on fire and then like come out and be completely fine, I will never forget that.
And how would you fare in a battle with what happened in the movie Sinners?
I don't want to survive like anything, like the apocalypse. Like I don't want to live. I think it would be lonely and hard. I just think I would be, like lay down and die, honestly, if I were a part of anything like that in real life.
Bo Chow, he's a grocer. He's a married man with a beautiful daughter. Best friend to Smoke and Stack. We used to get in a lot of trouble when we were kids. I kind of grew out of that and became a little bit more responsible. I do a little gambling and betting on the side, but he's now that they're back, maybe we'll get in some trouble. Oh my God, Ryan's amazing. Ryan's such a good friend, and I think that's how he approaches the whole thing. Is like everybody here in this giant studio tent or whatever, we're all gonna end up friends at some point, and he speaks to everybody as a peer and with a great degree of respect. Mike's a really chill guy. He's like one of the most famous people on earth, but you would never know by how convivial and jovial he is. He keeps everything very light and super respectful. I remember the first 2 weeks or something we were working together, I was like, does this guy ever sit down? He never sits down, And I noticed that because I was like, it's like a point of pride to him to be a leader as well. And that's another thing that I admired and something that I'm going to steal from him as well. Maybe I just don't sit. I think what you're coming for is not what you're going to get, but what you're going to get is going to be so much deeper and so much richer than anything you imagined you could be coming for. After the first read, I was so surprised by the full scope, not just in terms of theme, but in terms of art and material and history. It hits on so many different levels. No, 100% no. No, I'd be hiding underneath a table, and then maybe somebody would come out and drag me out, and then I'd be a midnight snack.
I mean, it's what we worked so hard to do. We wanted to put this on the biggest platform possible, and that's in IMAX on film. And all the love, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the fears we put in this film so that audiences can enjoy a night at the movies. And so we hope that all the love is felt in their watch.
First and foremost, it is an incredibly good time in the theater. Ryan and the whole team's goal was to create an experience for the communal theater going audience that would, as Lindsay was saying, give them a lot to think about, a lot to cry about, a lot to be scared about. It's a movie about a community that comes together to overcome a horrifying set of danger, both natural and unnatural. And, part of the fun is seeing how it comes together.
There was such a unity on set that we were able to build that it just permeates through the screen, and you will see it through these characters, just how connected they are. So when some of that unravels, it's just an epic night at the movies. I cannot wait for people to see this film.
I will say, we feel linked with Michael in so many ways because our first movie that we produced was Fruitvale Station. That was Michael's first time as the number one on the call sheet. And Michael's first movie that he directed, which was Creed 3, we produced. So we're stuck with him, no matter what at this point.
We're family at this point.
Yeah, it's lucky that we
call him Uncle Mike. So I mean, it's all in the family. It's all love. This was meant and made and built and poured into for theaters. I mean, it is such an immersive film, such incredible, layered, complicated, fun, loving characters that you just, disappear into the screen with. And I
I think if you love film, if you love a good time, if you love having an excuse to go out with your family and just, disappear for a couple of hours, you must see this in IMAX in the theaters.